Today, we're going to be looking at how Benoit Saint Denis' win over Mauricio Ruffy in Paris caused the French government to collapse. First off, it's important, as with any historical event, to remember to look at the historical context. And knowing that, it's important to look back at what happened last time Benoit Saint Denis was in Paris and fought. What happened was an absolute disgrace, as it was an early stoppage. Benoit Saint Denis was on his way to have a comeback victory against Renato Moicano, but the doctor stepped in as he was paid off by Renato Moicano, who coincidentally has the nickname Money. So it's obvious that he used that money to get a win over a much more skilled and overall handsome fighter in Benoit Saint Denis. As you could imagine, the people of Paris and in general France is France even a real country? I thought it was made up, like the North Pole. Anyway, in Paris, it's important to note everyone was furious that this blatant riggery was happening, especially to their own fighter. When the UFC came back to Paris the next year and matched him up against up-and-coming surging contender Mauricio Ruffy, everyone was very scared, especially after he had a couple bad losses to Dustin Poirier and to staph infection. It's also important to note that Mauricio Ruffy was a fucking nerd. Pardon my French, but that's what they called them. And they were an unstoppable force. The UFC fans, the ones that are on TikTok and love Kevin Randleman and Zabit Magomedsharipov, they love the nerds. So everyone thought Benoit Saint Denis was doomed. But when the fight happened, a shocking event occurred, and it was called a veteran performance, where Benoit Saint Denis was better in the striking and in the grappling, and for that matter, also in the hair department, as Ruffy was balding. Anyway, in the fight, Mauricio Ruffy didn't know where he even was and was forced to tap to something that wasn't even a real choke. It was just on the chin. And as an expert fighter who's been in many fights, not verifiable, but trust me, bro, I can say you feel no pain when someone has a choke over your chin, as you don't breathe out of your chin like you breathe out of your trachea. Therefore, Mauricio Ruffy just gave up. And it's at this point you may wonder, what did that have to do with the French government collapsing? Well, there's something you may remember about the UFC Paris card. The commentary team kept reminding us of the volume of the French crowd, and if you take a look at the now former prime minister, you may see the issue. Take a look, as his ears are freakishly huge. Therefore, his big ears must have ruptured, as he notably is able to hear anything in a 1,000-kilometer radius. As he was embarrassed about his ear issue, they try to cover it up and make it seem like the people hated him and he was voted out. But I believe the people deserve to know the truth. And this is the truth of why the French government collapsed. Number 14. Was Seth Petrozelli's upset against Kimbo Slice the October surprise that caused Obama to win the 2008 election?